Alright, here we go.
Are you ready? Let's go, 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 go. Now we're back from the dead.
Run free and dive into the sky. Hear the wind crying out its prayer. Why are we so ashamed to be alive? Break the chains and our freedom's ours to take.
Alright, so what you're seeing in the background right now is a very sped up version of the raid that I ran through yesterday upon release, and this was my first raid, and it was probably the worst raid, of course, that I'll ever have. And not just because it was the first one, also because I was lagging the entire time. We were playing on a German world, and it was just not working for me. Everybody else on my team was okay, but I was just lagging the entire way through the raid, so it was basically just like a big exercise in frustration. And I even DC at some point, and it was a mess. But largely my impression of raids is good. I think their mechanics are interesting. It's well designed. I'm surprised they were able to get this level of content out in the amount of time that they did, with the size of the team that they have, with no real issues on release. Actually, that was really impressive. And I think the only real downsides are that the rewards are underwhelming for how much time it takes, and of course people will streamline the process of getting through the raids, and they'll optimize routes and strategies or whatever, but I think that the average reward is still going to be too low unless you get a unique, and for most people it won't be worth the time unless that gets addressed, or unless people find out a way to be really good at not dying at all, because the loot point potential is really important for what you get as a reward, and you can just lose it all right at in the last room with the Great Olm, which is really unfortunate. It's happened to us a couple times. It happened to my team last night, actually, before I went to bed. We did this raid, and we were damn near flawless all the way through. And I think I had like 20,000 points to myself, and then by the end of the raid, I think we all had like 1 or 2 or 4, like 3. It was just really bad. I think that the raids are well designed, but it's kind of bullshit that you can flawless the entire first part of the raid, and then lose all chances of anything good in the last room. And I know that that's based on player performance. Like, if you don't die, you'll keep your points, but I think you lose too many points when you die. Like, I went from 20,000 to 12,000 in one death. And if the other deaths after that weren't bad enough, like, that's already really bad. But anyway, I think raids are fun. I'm not sure whether I'll continue doing them, and that's the reason I'm putting them as part of this pet hunt series. I know I had talked about maybe making it separate and just doing a couple raid videos and then back to the pet hunt series. I'm including it in this one because I think that people who watch the pet hunt are probably interested to see what raids are like and my experience with raids. And also, based on how raids are, I'm not sure that I'll be sticking with them, so it might go immediately back to pet hunting really soon. I don't know. Basically, I like raids. I want to keep doing them, but they are a massive time sink, and they don't seem to pay out unless you get one of the new items. And on top of that, it didn't do for my Twitch channel what I was hoping it would. I think my friends and I who stream, we're all really hoping that this new content would bring in a big new audience, and that's just not the case. And that's obviously because all the other big streamers out there were streaming it on day one as well, which means that the viewership for RuneScape was enormous, but there were so many people streaming raids that we had even less than our normal viewership because everybody was interested in seeing raids, so they just gravitate toward the top of the directory, which is all the biggest streamers who are already doing raids too. So instead of it growing my channel like I wanted it to, I actually got like half my viewership the whole day, which was very frustrating because I was really hoping that this would pay off nicely for myself and for Nigel and for Rob and really help our channels out, because a lot of us are really hoping to get partnered this year in 2017, because if that doesn't happen, then our time on Twitch is limited until we have to, you know, throw in the towel in a sense and get a job. And I wouldn't disappear from video making or from streaming. I would do a part-time job if I had to and keep streaming in my spare time, but I don't want to have to get to that point if I can avoid it. And yesterday just ended up being very disappointing because, combined with the fact that raids took forever and gave no good reward to us, I streamed for like 7 hours and didn't get a single new follower based on the new content, and that was just very frustrating because I was just really hoping this would work out. You know, I was really hoping that this would give the extra push I needed to get partnered at the beginning of 2017, and I don't think it's going to, and that was just a very disappointing thing. So all that together means that I'll keep doing raids a little bit probably, but I don't think I'll be grinding them quite as hard as I thought. I think the normal pet hunting content will probably return sooner rather than later. Technically this is all part of the pet hunt too, which is also why I decided to include it in this series instead of separately, because there is a pet included with raids, as we expected there might be. It's the Great Olm. He is the final boss of this raid, and there is a pet version of him called the Olmlet, which of course makes me think of omelet every time. So the Olmlet is a pet. There are now 35 pets in the official pet hunt, and I would very much like it, but grinding for it is going to be extraordinarily painful until people really streamline the process of going through raids, and you get a dedicated team that you can rely on, that you can communicate well with. So I think that I'll keep raiding for a couple days as part of the hype, and past that I probably won't anymore. Well, not like entirely anymore, but I'll probably you know, sprinkle in some raids when I feel like it. But I don't see myself you know, setting aside massive chunks of time, like weeks, to do like I originally thought I would. That being said, though, I would like to challenge myself at some point to do a solo raid. I think that would be a really cool challenge to take on. You know, I have a maxed account, and I'm in a good position to try that. And I think that in particular would provide good content for Twitch and pull in some new viewers, even if it's hard to compete with people in the directory. I think soloing raids would be something that people want to see. So I think I'm going to challenge myself to do that at some point. I don't know when, not right away, obviously. I still need to get a bit better at raids, but that being said, I don't know, again, if that'll be a separate video, or if that'll even be a video at all, or if it'll just be like a Twitch thing. But as usual, just keep an eye out. And anyway, I hope that this video wasn't disappointing to you, because I know that basically this, all you've seen in this quote-unquote progress episode has been my experience with raids on day one. And I have like 4 other clips that are 2 hours long of me doing other raids, but they pretty much just turned out the same. So what I'm going to do is cut all this stuff together and speed it up, and you can see what raids kind of vaguely look like, and then at the end I'll put next to each other all the clips of the rewards I got from the raids, which were very underwhelming. But yeah, that's going to be pretty much it for this particular video. I wanted it to be released very soon after the release of raids, so that if people want to, you know, are on YouTube looking for raids videos, they might come across this one. And also those of you who like my progress series can see what my experience was with it. So I'm sorry it didn't have a lot of substance in terms of progress and pet hunting or whatever, but hope you enjoyed this video anyway, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.